Tonight on DC News Now.
Like the biggest crash you've ever heard in your life. Like it was almost like a bomb went off.
A deadly high-speed crash in Arlington. What one man saw right before a pickup truck hit multiple cars.
Hey everybody, we are tracking above average temperatures heading for the upper 50s forecast in a moment.
A heartbreaking loss after an incredible season.
There wasn't any egos and guys were very selfless. So that's the expectation going into next season.
The key takeaways from the Commanders tonight, already looking forward to next season. Mass deportations begin around the U.S. The hundreds of arrests and a near trade war with a South American country over deportation flights. A plan to eliminate cell phone use in D.C. schools. The new proposal today to create a uniform policy across all grade levels.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan. Susan Tran has the night off. We begin tonight. A woman is dead after a high-speed crash in Arlington this afternoon, and police say the driver of the speeding truck right now is in critical condition. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg joining us live along Wilson Boulevard near North Glebe Road. And Daniel, this is a busy intersection, so walk us through exactly what happened today.
Yeah, Chris, very busy indeed. This happened here on Wilson Boulevard. Police say that the truck was driving eastbound this way when he hit a car right about in this area. You can still see some of the glass and hear some of the glass under the tires of the cars on the road right now. The deadly crash was a shock to one man who witnessed it.
I said, oh my God, this guy's got to kill someone.
Strong reaction from a witness as Arlington police say the driver of this pickup truck was heading east on Wilson Boulevard.
He was going like really fast, like 80 miles an hour.
When a woman in a white car turned onto Wilson Boulevard from North Vermont Street. The driver of the truck barreling down the road. Adam Farah witnessed it all.
I see him swerve out the way of one car, and then he smacks the white car. I just heard a big crash, probably the biggest crash you've ever heard in your life. Like it was almost like a bomb went off.
Police say 2 other cars waiting at the light were also hit. The woman driving this white car was pronounced dead at the hospital. Police stayed on scene for hours, piecing together what happened and cleaning up a wide field of debris. Farah is processing what he saw.
Just really shocked, and I just saw like somebody's really hurt, and it just makes you feel like you need to appreciate life a little bit more.
Again, the pickup truck driver is in the hospital with critical injuries. We don't know why he was driving so fast at this point, and police have not yet released the name of the woman who died, pending notification of her family. We're live in Arlington. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Still so many questions, Daniel. Thank you. Meanwhile, let's get a first check on the forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb. And Janessa, not a bad way to start out the work week. I mean, It's balmy out there tonight.
Yeah, I don't need a coat.
No.
I mean, we're headed for the 50s, even some spots 60s on the board.
Take that.
Yeah, it's not about the start, right, of January. It was a struggle, the 2025 season, right? The end of this month is going to show out. It's about the finish here. Last week of January looking good across the DMV. We'll be above average temperature-wise, and tonight it's pretty balmy out there. We're into the lower 40s in some spots, 24 for Fairfax County, 35 the farther you go into Kaiser and Cumberland. Still upper 30s right now for Northern Virginia, and regionally as a whole, all of the East Coast is significantly above average temperature-wise due to winds coming in from the south. That's going to give way to very gusty conditions that'll stay in place until tomorrow. We have advisories and warnings west of D.C. into the Shenandoah Valley, where we've seen wind gusts up to about 50 miles per hour. At this point, not all of the region dealing with sustained winds, about 5 to 10. So it's not bad for D.C. metro area, but we need these winds to kick up because that will give way to warmer conditions. Look at tomorrow afternoon. I mean, we're going to skyrocket around 7 to that 8 o'clock hour, still into the lower 30s, but by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, already touching 40 degrees. We have a solid about 48 hours of above average temperatures, Chris. We'll look at that coming up.
Advantage of that, Janessa. Thanks. All right, the Washington Commanders' dream season, of course, coming to a disappointing end last night in Philly. The Eagles clinching their ticket to the Super Bowl, beating the Commanders 55-23. They'll now face the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs trying to win their third straight Super Bowl. It's never happened before. The game is Sunday, February 9th at the Superdome in New Orleans. Kendrick Lamar and SZA will headline the halftime show there in New Orleans. All right, the Commanders still have a lot, of course, to be proud about. They played in the NFC Championship for the first time in more than 30 years. And today, the Commander players back at their practice facility in Ashburn, cleaning out their lockers. It was a bit of a somber mood, as you might expect, but players tell us they're just so proud of the brotherhood and the culture they built in such a short amount of time.
How we want to approach things, how we go about things for the future. There's going to be some new faces here next year. We got to hold guys to that standard.
I mean, if there's just anything to look forward to, it's that first home game next year. And so I just very, very proud of that and just crazy honored to be a part of that this season.
And we all can't wait for that. Now, later tonight on Game Night at 11, we'll hear from head coach Dan Quinn and also general manager Adam Peters. All right, certainly not the result Commander fans were hoping for Sunday in Philadelphia. Many are heartbroken, but at the same time, thrilled with such an unexpected great season. DC News Now's Tim Reed is at Northwest Stadium tonight and caught up with fans in Prince George's County.
Commanders fans in the DMV were hoping their team would advance to the Super Bowl. It didn't happen, but Washington fans are still excited about what the team accomplished this season.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed. We were 60 minutes away from the Super Bowl.
Watching his Commanders lose a heartbreaker to the Eagles was tough for Ted Abella. He traveled Sunday to Philadelphia to watch the game. Abella is what you can call a super fan who goes by the nickname Tailgate Ted.
But then after I had a chance to sit back and reflect, I'm not sad. I'm excited and I'm proud. I'm proud of what this team accomplished. I'm proud of where we're going to be going.
Abella tailgated every Washington playoff game, including Tampa, Detroit, and Philadelphia. In every road game, he packed all his burgundy and gold, including his Commander's leather jacket, T-shirts, and burgundy sneakers packed up in his burgundy suitcase. Watching his team walk off the field with a loss was tough, but he is encouraged about this team's future.
It's been awesome to be able to go on this run and actually see our team back. What they're doing. We had 4 wins last year. We had 14 this year.
We caught up with some other disappointed fans, but like Tailgate Ted, they are proud of this team many call the Cardiac Commanders.
I'm proud. I'm grateful we made it that far. Now we can look forward to next year.
Washington fans I spoke with say they can't wait until next season to watch the first home game here at Northwest Stadium. In Landover, Maryland, Tim Reed, DC News Now.
We all feel that way. All right, all new tonight, 3 teenagers behind bars for a deadly triple shooting. It happened in Alexandria, Virginia last year. Now, it happened on Wythe Street on September 19th. The victim was 25-year-old Quakia Frazier. He died at the scene. 2 other people were shot, including a 15-year-old boy. Arlington police say they worked with the ATF to help connect the suspect to that shooting.
We've been able to take 3 people into custody. These 3 individuals, who are all juveniles, or they were juveniles at the time of the crime, have been charged with multiple violations of code.
The teens are 16 and 17 years old. Police also continue to investigate a separate shooting that happened days later, where 2 teen boys were shot while they're sitting inside of a car. All right, staying in Virginia, the Stafford County Sheriff's Office says a man faces drunk driving charges after hit and run late Saturday night. The crash happened at the intersection of Richmond Highway and Burns Corner just after 11:15. The victim says the man asked them not to call police after rear-ended them, but then drove off. Deputies say they found the driver after he drove right past the police station and then pulled him over. Now, they say the man admitted to drinking 2 margaritas and found multiple open cans of alcohol inside of his car. The driver telling deputies it wasn't the alcohol that caused the crash. Rather, he claims he was distracted when trying to lean over and kiss a passenger in his car. We're told the driver was held in jail until he sobered up. All new tonight, Capitol Police say they've arrested a man that happened earlier today who claimed to have a Molotov cocktail and also a knife. This happened on the East Plaza near a ramp that leads to the south entrance to the Capitol building. Capitol Police have not confirmed if that person did in fact have either of the weapons. And new tonight, the Department of Justice firing several employees, all of whom were part of investigations into President Trump. The more than a dozen prosecutors worked on special counsel Jack Smith's team. Now, historically, rank and file prosecutors remain in their positions across administrations and are not punished for their involvement in sensitive investigations. Well, this all coming as Immigration and Customs Enforcement says it made more than 1,200 arrests over the weekend. And newly sworn in Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the Pentagon is ready to assist. The mass deportations have already started conflict. Hundreds of visa appointments have been canceled at the U.S. Embassy in Colombia. It's all due to a dispute between President Trump and the Colombian president over deportation flights. That dispute also nearly turned into a costly trade war. But today, the White House border czar saying this is only the beginning of mass deportations.
President Trump, we're going to use all the government to secure our border, which is the biggest national security vulnerability this country's ever seen, and we're going to enforce laws to this country.
We're seeing a kind of chaos in which, in contradiction of the president's commitment that he was going to start focused on violent criminals, they're just detaining anyone.
Meanwhile, President Trump has already said he'll let ICE make arrests at schools and churches. We'll have much more on that coming up in our next half hour. We have new information tonight. Frederick Health is warning its customers about a possible data breach. Now, once an incident was discovered, the company briefly went offline. They worked with cybersecurity experts to restore services, and facilities do remain open. Customers can continue to schedule their appointments there.